So with the bounty hunting community goal going on right now, I thought I'd take a little review of my Fer-de-Lance build. So we've got a huge cannon on the belly with a grade 5 overcharged weapon module and an auto loader. This is used for popping shields when they get low and popping power plants as well. So we've got 2 beam lasers and 2 burst lasers as well with grade 5 efficient weapon modules. This tends to draw down the weapon capacitor a little bit too much, I think, so I think I'm going to swap out those 2 beam lasers with 2 burst lasers to get a little bit more firing time with them. You get about, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds of firing time, and you'll see in some combat footage that I've got that it draws the weapons capacitor down pretty quick. So for utility mounts, we've got a kill warrant scanner with a grade 3 fast scan modification. You can see I scan in around 4 seconds. I want to slap a grade 5 on there for 2-second scans, but I was too lazy at this point. And all my shield boosters are grade 5 heavy duty. I did some calculations on Coriolis with a mix of heavy duty and resistance shield boosters, and they weren't really as good as just having them all heavy duty. So you can see there I've got a couple good rolls. One of them I got a real good roll with 63% shield boost on them, so I think this is pretty optimal. So to start the core internals off, we've got a 6A power plant with a grade 1 low emissions power plant module. You can see I've got a little bit more power capacity with this grade 1 roll, which is usually what I want to go for, because you can roll grade 1 low emissions rolls forever. I think it uses sulfur to do the roll, so you can just stock up a bunch of sulfur and keep rolling until you get a good roll. We've got 5A thrusters with grade 5 dirty drive tuning. You can see our top speed is 378 meters per second and boost speed is 509 meters per second. So it's pretty peppy. We've got a 4A frame shift drive with a grade 5 increased distance modification, and you can see the jump range is still absolutely crap. So usually I just take a smaller ship or a ship that can jump further like a DBX or an Anaconda to the combat zone and then just have the thing shipped there, because it doesn't really cost too much to ship it there anyway. So 4D life support with a grade 1 lightweight life support module. Doesn't really matter because the jump range is already crap and the basic life support module already weighs 4 tons, so it's not that much. Got a grade 5 charge enhanced power distributor module on our 6A power distributor. You can see I've got good rolls there, but even with the 2 beam lasers and the 2 burst lasers, it tends to draw down the capacity after about 15 seconds of firing, so I think I'm going to swap out those beam lasers with burst lasers and see how they do in the long run. You'll see some combat footage later on where that power draw comes into play as well. So we've got 4D sensors with grade 5 long range scanner modifications, and you can see the typical emission range is around 8 kilometers. I tend to see things around 11 to 12 kilometers. You can see the max range there is 13. And I don't want to put a 4A sensor subsystem on there because I'm hitting my peak total power with my weapons deployed, so it's pretty much still, I can see pretty much everything in a combat zone. If we go into optional internals, you'll see I've got a 5C bi-weave shield generator with grade 5 thermal resistant shields. I swapped these out from my original reinforced shields because the regen rate on the Fer-de-Lance with a class 5 shield generator is kind of crappy. It takes about 7 minutes with grade 5 reinforced, and this drops it down to around 5 minutes. We've got a 4C frameshift drive interdictor, just in case I see anybody floating around in Super Cruise, 4A fuel scoop for getting around, and a cargo rack and advanced discovery scanner, which you should always have on your ship anyway. So let's take a look at some combat footage with this ship. So in this clip we're about to engage an anaconda with 2 vipers as wingmates. You can see I've already targeted the power plant and I'm starting to fire with my beam lasers, and you can see where that weapons draw really starts to come into play. So I'm starting to use my cannon just to drop his shields and stop his shield cell banks there from popping as well. You can see I back off a bit to let weapons recharge and get a better angle on him. He's only got a class 4 pulse laser you can see firing on me right now. And his wingmen are starting to wither my shields a little bit. You can see where I pop my weapons to 3 pips just to get a little bit more recharge. So that's where the beam lasers I said are coming into play. And this is the Achilles heel right there. There's the kill shot. Pops the power plant and he's pretty much done for. So in this clip we're heading out to hit an Imperial Clipper which is already engaged. You can see he's 11 kilometers away, so that's where those long range sensors come into play. You would not be able to see that with just stock D grade sensors or lightweight ones. And you can see where the Fer-de-Lance's speed comes into play. I get right up in there pretty close, pretty quick. So we do a little scan with the kill warrant scanner just to make sure we get all the bounties we need, and we open fire. You can see I'm switching to 402 when he starts opening up on me. And I think I'm giving him a couple cannon blasts here. Cannon is really effective. I really like using the cannons on bigger ships like that. See, we got another clipper that's being engaged by security forces as well here. And it's basically going to be the same deal. Drop his shields. You can see where I estimate where that cannon shot is going to hit. I'm starting to get really good with estimating cannon shots. And he's done for. And in this final clip we've got another anaconda going after a cobra. You can see I switched to 402 pretty quick. This one I'm not targeting the power plant, didn't have time to. You can see where the Fer-de-Lance's maneuverability starts to come into play. Even with no pips to engines, it's kind of pretty maneuverable, especially in close with this anaconda. You can see I'm trying to keep off his nose. He tends to come around a little bit. And there you can see where the power distributor problems are coming in with the beam lasers. So definitely might want to check out 4 burst lasers with this setup. Even though I switched to 4 pips to weapons there to quickly recharge, that's something you don't really want to do in combat against a big ship, because they tend to drop your shields a little bit quicker that way. But here he is, he's exploding, and his butt is toast.